Hello, I am Xarkun. This is World of Warships Legends. Today I bring you a video in the Kurfürst. We're on the map Shards, Domination Mode, and this is the best game I've had yet so far in the Kurfürst. A couple of things working in my favor here. There are no destroyers on the enemy team. My team, in fact, has the destroyer advantage. We've got one destroyer. The Reds, they've got 0. Now, the Kurfürst is a ship that struggles to turn very quickly. So, it does have a sonar, which only lasts for 60 seconds, not a very long duration. So that does help somewhat in giving you the opportunity to avoid torpedoes, but sometimes you can detect torpedoes, and because the ship is so difficult to maneuver, you still can't dodge all of them, like you might be able to in, say, a Bismarck. Speaking of the Bismarck, our first salvo on the Bismarck doesn't yield great results. We get a single ricochet. The Bismarck fires back at us, or maybe that was one of the cruisers out there and does absolutely nothing with the AP. Bounces off the bow. One thing I can tell you is that the bow armor of the Kurfürst is basically indestructible. I've watched Yamato shells shatter off of it. I'm pretty convinced that the Yamato cannot overmatch this ship's bow armor, which is nice to know. And that means any other battleship shooting at your bow is also not going to do any damage. Now, they can aim up, they can hit your turrets and take them out. Seems like they can do that pretty easily. Or they can shoot into your massive superstructure and deal damage that way. And in fact, I find that battleships shooting at the Kurfürst do seem to have a lot of success when they aim their shots into the superstructure. I guess the same is true of every battleship, but, you know, the Kurfürst is just insanely huge. So you can get a lot of your hit points taken away by battleship caliber shells slamming into your superstructure. It's honestly a little bit demoralizing. And this ship is probably supposed to best be played at closer ranges, but it can be incredibly difficult to get there, which is why I said in my first impressions video that you definitely want to start out playing this ship at range. Reason I'm not doing that here? No real torpedo threats to speak of. And these islands give me all kinds of cover. Now, we hit that Bismarck really hard there. I think that was over 20k. Yeah, 29k on that salvo. He took about 15k off of us, but we have way more hit points than he does. So it didn't hurt all that much in the grand scheme of things. And here we are about to secure this capture circle in the largest battleship in the entire game. A lot of that is due to the enemies here playing pretty passively. Then again, they've just got a Bismarck, a Helena, it looks like, and a Kutuzov out here. So what could they really do coming up against a Kurfürst, a Wichita, and of course we've got a Yamato sitting out back there taking pot shots at these guys whenever he gets the opportunity. So we've got the distinct advantage here. Kutuzov, I'm sure he's launching torpedoes down this gap. So I have used the sonar in order to detect them. Probably didn't even really need it. Aha, there they are. Of course, this Kutuzov traded 16,000 hit points in order to launch these torpedoes. Unfortunately for him, they're not going to hit me. I predicted that they'd be coming, and I was able to avoid them by pre-dodging, which is, you know, that's a good skill to have in any battleship, but it's vital in this ship. Now, kind of waiting for the Bismarck to come around this corner here. And while we're waiting, I want to say that after I've put a lot more games into this ship, my first impressions haven't really changed all that much. These guns are bizarrely accurate for a German battleship. It's nothing like what you would get on the Bismarck or the Gneisenau, or even the Scharnhorst Tirpitz, maybe even Odin. I haven't played that ship. These guns are very accurate at longer ranges and at close range. 17k on that Bismarck. His return salvo does next to nothing to us. Now, his secondaries are reaching out. that is the one thing that I would love to see changed on this ship. I've run a full secondary build on this before. Don't think I'm running it here. When I run a full secondary build with Hyde at level 16, he's got the Porcupine skill. That increases the secondary range by 12%. Got a level 15 Hipper, which gives another 12% increase to secondary battery range. And then the secondary mod in the first slot, I think, is another 20% increase to secondary range. Put all that on the Bismarck and you get something like nearly 12 kilometers on those secondaries. Put that on the Grosse Kurfürst, you get 7.5, maybe close to 8. I'm not sure because I don't have my commanders completely maxed out. So it could be a little bit closer to 8 if you have everybody maxed out. And that is like Hyde. I do have the Porcupine skill maxed there, but I don't have Hipper level 16 and 4, so not sure how far these secondaries could go out, but about 7.5 realistically is what you could expect with a very high level set of commanders and a full secondary build. And look at this Kutuzov. One mistake too many. Go back to port. Devastating strike. And first kill of the game. I think it might be the only kill of the game. We've done 94,000 damage here. The Amagi's shooting at us. His shells hit the side armor or go into the water and do 0 damage. So that's nice. The armor on the Grosse Kurfürst's side is very strong when the ship is angled. A lot of other battleships, even those with 16-inch guns, are going to have a hard time penetrating unless they aim up into the superstructure, in which case they'll have quite a bit of an easier time penetrating, which is unfortunate. They can take off a lot of your hit points that way. As I said, luckily none of these guys have elected to do that to me. Now we are on a collision course with this enemy Grosse Kurfürst in front of us, and we do have the Amagi out here. He's turning away. We do give him a little, we're not giving him that much of an angle. He does take a few of our hit points, but our shot on him, much more lucrative. And now our secondaries are opening up at a range of 5 kilometers. You're going to be able to see that these secondaries, at least in my opinion, are a lot more effective than the secondaries on the Bismarck. We've already got 1 fire out of these secondaries with about 9 hits, and I don't know if we're going to get to see many instances of it, but these secondaries do tend to sometimes score actual damaging hits on enemy ships. Now, here we are passing this Grosse Kurfürst. Dangerous move. Had he been prepared, he could have absolutely clobbered me right there, and I could have done the same to him. As it stands, neither of us were really aiming at each other, and we weren't able to get our guns on target. That Grosse Kurfürst is shooting at my teammates. I'm going to shoot at him real quick. I do take out one of his guns temporarily. These guns, as I've said before, get taken out very easily, and that is a reliable way to do damage to the Grosse Kurfürst. We're up to a lot of secondary hits now. We've lit another fire, and it doesn't look like he's able to put that one out. Unfortunately, he goes down, so the fire damage stops. And now that just leaves an enemy Bismarck, the one we were shooting at earlier, and the enemy Amagi. Now, we're going to see what we can do against 2 battleships here with 37,000 hit points. I think we are going to end up sinking, but we've still got a lot of damage left to cause. Bismarck gives broadside again. We hit him for 13k there. That, I'm sure, hurt. His secondaries are shooting at us, but they're not yielding fantastic results. We're about to be in secondary range of this Amagi, though, opening up again. Amagi shoots us in the broadside, but our turtleback armor keeps us from getting citadeled and taking deadly damage. It's still a lot, and we're getting very low here on hit points, but we do deploy one of our heals, thanks to Hyde. We take out the Amagi's guns, and we're just racking up the secondary hits here. Still no fires, doing a lot of damage with the main guns, up to 182,000. The Amagi's going to turn again. He really, really wants to kill me. Don't know that he's going to succeed, and what I'm trying to do is make sure I get all of my guns on target and take him out. Unfortunately, I'm going to flub the shot here a little bit. I think most of that might have went into the water and not his citadel like I wanted. And then that one doesn't hit his citadel either. Leaves him with just enough health to still be alive. And we go down. But 208,000 damage in the Große Kurfürst, and a nice example of the Große Kurfürst doing what I assume it is meant to do best, and that is brawl. Although, as I said, it can be hard to find situations to get into in order to do that. This game just happened to be the perfect storm of conditions for me. Anyway, that Bismarck is going to go down, and the battle ends here. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done that already. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.